Hey everyone, this is Caitlin Jones with the Jones Home Team. Thank you so much for coming back to another video. It's What Are We Learning Wednesdays. You know, my goal is to be somebody who says, hey, you may not have thought about this. Let me tell you more about it. So today is closing day. What actually happens on closing day, right? HGTV just says, you look at houses, and then all of a sudden it's like, they go to dinner, they get a drink, and then we own a house. There's some stuff that happens in between that. What happens on closing day, it depends on if you're the seller or if you're the buyer. So if you're selling a house, it can be a little bit stressful. You have to move all of your stuff out. You have to have the house clean. You have to have it ready to go. Take a step back. Don't wait until the last minute. I always tell folks, the instant you get a contract, start planning for closing day. So how are we moving stuff out? Did we book the mover? Maybe it's time to pay for a cleaner, because I don't know about you, but in that last minute, it's tough to be on your hands and knees scrubbing. Just pay $100 and let somebody else do it. Other things to take into account. Have I turned the utilities off? They stay in your name through closing, but that next day you don't want to be paying for your buyer's electric. What about my homeowner's insurance? Have I set it to cancel? You want to make sure that your house is fully insured while you own it, but you need to talk to your agent so they know that once closing happens, they say, because you get the prorated money back. There are some other things that happen. You have to sign. You have to make sure you have keys. I can't tell you how many people realize I don't even have a key that opens my front door. I just use that code. Go make a key. Make sure that your garage door opener works. Make sure that the little things that you want to leave ready to go for the buyer, you've thought about that in advance. Because when closing day gets here, it's super exciting, so you don't want to be rushing around and just saying like, oh, I wish I had planned ahead. I'm telling you, go ahead and plan ahead. Okay, now on the buyer side, totally different. Closing day is huge. As a seller, I forgot to mention this, you can actually sign ahead of time, whereas the buyer, you have to sign on closing day. So that day is really important. Please make sure you take off work. I have people who say like, yeah, I'm busy that day. Don't be busy on closing day. Don't schedule a meeting. Don't schedule a doctor's appointment. You're trying to buy a house here. It's kind of important. Okay, so closing day leading up to it, you need to make sure the utilities are in your name. You need to make sure stuff is ready to go. If you want to have a cleaner come in before you bring your stuff, set that up. If you want to have somebody come in and paint, if you want to have somebody come in and do some repairs, plan that well in advance. You're going to be too stressed last minute. We also do a walkthrough. I always tell buyers we need to wait till right before closing, because the last thing that you want is to do a walkthrough 2 days before, and then all of a sudden there's a plumbing leak, you buy the house, and you inherit the leak. So we do a walkthrough right before closing. You wire your money. So the amount that you owe, you send from your bank account directly to the title company or the attorney. That is super, super important. I'm not getting involved. No one else should be involved. There's too much fraud. Do not waste your money. I know folks who have lost over $100,000, right? Because of mortgage fraud, because they didn't listen and they wired the money to the wrong account. So just talk to the person who's in charge. Then we go to closing and you do this. Literally, be prepared to sign your name a bunch of times. Yes, it has to be in blue pen. So if you're the person who wants to bring your own pen, make sure it's blue ink. Bring your ID. Bring a smile, and know that as soon as you sign those documents, we're gonna take a picture with this. I'm gonna give you some of this. There's gonna be a ton of smiles, so much excitement. We'll hand you some keys, we'll hand you some paperwork, and you own a house. In our market, you take ownership the day of closing. There isn't a long gap, so actually we go through this whole process, and people often say like, well, what happens next? Open this bottle, get some glasses, and go own a house. It really is an exciting time. There's so much that happens between going under contract to closing, but be prepared for closing day. It's what you're looking forward to. It's when you become the owners of this fabulous new place, and I'm there to celebrate with you. So make sure you like this video, subscribe. We will be here every Wednesday. If there's other information we can provide, please let me know. I want to be your resource for all things real estate throughout the entire Tampa Bay area. And honestly, if you're looking to buy a house somewhere else, reach out, because I can get you connected to somebody who's going to give you this level of service. Have a fabulous day and come back next week.